Carmen Wilson, who is the Director of Operations from Demilitarised Education. So without further ado, I'll hand over to her. Carmen, thank you.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for having me. I feel very honored to be the one special exception to the non-Bristol student and staff. So thank you. I'm Carmen. I'm the Director of Operations at Demilitarised Education. We are a small UK-based nonprofit, and our sole mission, and the only organization in the world whose mission is solely dedicated to this, is to uncover, expose, and end UK university partnerships with the global arms trade. So I'm going to start my talk by providing an overview of the issue, and then I'm going to go into a bit more detail about how this issue impacts universities and how universities are militarized and intricately linked to global arms companies as well as military entities. So, as I'm sure everyone here is already aware of, the urgent crisis in Gaza is at a breaking point, and so the need to hold universities to account for their complicity in this crisis is even more urgent. Universities currently support the global arms trade in many ways. This fuels war and also has a devastating impact on human rights and the environment. Rather than using their capacity to contribute to building peaceful and sustainable innovation, they are using their capacity to develop weapons as well as profit from and fuel armed conflicts around the world. Technologies being developed within universities are being used and supplied to entities that are committing war crimes, for example, not just in Gaza, but in Yemen, Sudan, Ukraine, and in armed conflicts around the world, contributing to the worst humanitarian crises. Universities will continue to fund and profit from killing people unless we act now. So this event, as Alden said, is hopefully going to be one of many to add to this call that universities need to divest and end their ties from unethical industries. As our research and as the research of many others proves, and as DED, we have a universities and arms database which holds this kind of data. It shows that universities are intricately linked to war, and this is in three main ways. So financial, research, and academic partnerships. Financial refers to investments, research projects, and academic collaborations, for example, graduate schemes, careers links, consultancy fees, as well as dual employment. For example, the University of Leeds has an industrial advisory committee with 2 members on it who work for arms companies. So this relationship between the arms industry and between universities is what is referred to as the military-industrial academic complex. And it also describes the growing dependency of universities on the arms industry and military institutions as a way to fill in any funding gaps. So we hope that you'll visit our website and check out our database, dead1.co. And this database really is a tool that you can use. It provides quantitative data on these links. And we have so far uncovered over £2 billion linked between UK universities and global arms companies. So that's just the tip of the iceberg. The problem is much, much deeper than that. So how do UK universities contribute to militarization? Well, I first want to say that universities are failing in their duties as public institutions. They're supposed to be centers of knowledge. However, they are currently upholding systems of violence and oppression, rather than using their power and influence to challenge these systems. Many remain complicit, aligning with the needs of the arms trade and industry, as well as aligning with the needs of private industry, choosing profits over ethics. This is not just a violation of humanitarian ethics and international law, but also against charitable objectives. Many universities, sometimes individual colleges, student unions as well, are registered charities. So this is in violation of charity law, the UK Higher Education Code of Governance, and even a violation of a university's individual values and policies. So having relationships with any arms companies shows complicity in conflicts. And this directly or indirectly contributes to these conflicts, exacerbating them. So, for example, arms sales to Israel contributing to even the development of some of these weapons which are being supplied to Israel as well as other unethical regimes. It's contributing to human rights abuses, violating international law, as well as significantly impacting the environment, for example, through the devastating destruction of infrastructure. So, ending what is called the military-industrial academic complex is an essential part of peace development and tackling climate change, because academic capacity can be used for developing innovations and solutions that will contribute to human security and real security rather than the diluted understanding of security that the government and the military often pushes. So how did we get here? Well, we can trace this back to World War I. Imperial College London was used as a hub for chemical weapons research during World War I. In 1940, Birmingham University initiated the calculations for the atomic bomb. And then even before World War II, academia and industry and government were actually not that intricately linked. They didn't collaborate as much as they do now. And they were hesitant to collaborate because they felt that this could dilute academic purity and actually impose on academic freedom. Many prominent figures actually spoke out about this, saying that they felt that it would limit academic autonomy. But unfortunately, this problem only got worse over time, as it is still getting worse every day. Privatization acted as a catalyst, and thus the MIAC was established. So this is still getting worse, and corporate interests are being put above academic freedom, because we argue that choosing corporate interests over academic sort of like pushing, basically, you have to work with these arms companies. This is the only funding that we're providing for these research projects, so you have to do it, is actually a manipulation of academic freedom. And I want to list a couple notable examples from the University of Bristol. So the monetary value that we so far have is now over 95 million linked to arms companies. This is made up of mainly research project funding as well as academic consultancy fees. The largest arms funder and employer here is Airbus. And Airbus is controversial for a number of reasons. So not just a history of bribery, corruption, and human rights complicity, but also it is part of the supply chain for the Eurofighter Typhoon, which has been a core part of the Saudi military's devastating attacks on Yemen over the past 6 years. The university is also linked with the MOD, Thales, BAE Systems, Rolls-Royce, Defense Science Technology Laboratory, Kinetic, GKN, and many, many more. So I implore you to continue to increase your critical awareness about this issue and help us spread the word. I also want to quickly mention that we have just launched a crowdfunder. And so if everyone could please check it out and also share the word, we'd really appreciate the support. Thank you.